Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to have your attention for just a moment. If you could all come to the front, I would love to ask all the people at the back to please come to the front. We're about to get into a very interesting session, and I believe that there's something for all of us to learn from it. I'm Isabel Masozera. I'm the founder of Masozera Africa, and it is a digital couch that emphasizes wellness in the context of African women, by and for African women. It's good to see all of you today. I want to recognize the media, investors in the room. I see young entrepreneurs, I see alumni, and every other person that made the time to be with us today. We'll take a minute and allow everybody to come to the front. Say hi to a neighbor, drink some water. We're going to have a good time. Thank you so much. In the interest of time, we'll be moving straight to the panel for this afternoon, but I trust that our MC will be taking us through the program. We'll be introducing why we are here today, the objectives for the day, and so much more. So even after the panel, I urge you to stick around. It's a power-packed afternoon for you, and I know that there will be a lot of take-homes for all of us. And without wasting any more time, I would like to invite up to the stage our panelists for this session. His Excellency, the Ambassador of Israel to Rwanda, Ron Adam. It's good to have you in the room. If you could make your way to the stage, please. Thank you very much. I also would love to welcome our organizer today, the General Manager of 250 Startups, the man behind the incredible work with his amazing team. And he doesn't need an introduction, does he? Yeah? We can do better than that, guys. All right. And because of the work that is being done, we do have a beneficiary on the panel today. And I would like to ask Tandiwe Uwineza to please, Uize, I beg your pardon, to please come and join the panel. And an investor, wouldn't you want to meet one? I know a lot of young people who've been cooking and prepping and dreaming. That's the person they're going to be hearing from tonight and getting pretty psyched and excited. And I would like to invite Mr. Nelson to come to the stage. I think I saw him somewhere in the room. I beg to be corrected. Mr. Amon, please come to the stage. Mr. Amon Munyaneza is one of the people that will be talking to us about what it is that they look for when they choose to fund a project and so much more. And I would like to obviously start with our organizer today. And my first question to you would be, why 250 Startups? Why a demo day like today? What do you hope to achieve with it? But maybe before you go to the question, if you could take a moment in a sentence or two and just introduce to us who you are and your relationship with why we are here today.
Okay, thank you so much, and we welcome you all today. His Excellencies that we have in the room, the Ambassador of Israel that we're on the panel, but also the His Excellency of Japan to Rwanda. You're welcome. And back to the question. Charles is general manager of 250 Startups, and really passionate about seeing young people really growing and coming up with projects, and we support them. That's really keeps me awake, really to see how do we support innovators, how do we support young people to really do create jobs in the country you're living in, but not only in the country, but also in the continent. Why Demo Day? Demo Day really, we create this to make sure that we prepare a startup company for the 6 month. We are lucky, I can say we are lucky, but it was really because of COVID, we couldn't really do the demo days. That's why we've joined the 2 cohorts. But normally we do every after 6 months, we organize the demo day. And the main purpose is really to pitch to the investors, that's one. But 2, access to market, because we have invited the stakeholders, people from the government, but also the private sector, make sure that we're in the one room and these young innovators can really meet them and pitch them what they are doing, because that's the practice that we normally do at the center. Then in that way, it helps them to get the market, get the investment, but also if you can't get the investment, because it's a challenge in the continent, but again, you get access to the market, and everyone can be a market to a startup company that you're seated next to. Thank you.
I will still stick with you for just a moment. You've been doing this for quite some time. Could you talk to us about how many years you've been doing this? I noticed you started with an incubator where young people can start from, but now you've also added the acceleration phase of it. Why was that important for you? And of course, how long have you been doing this?
Thank you so much. Of course, 250 was really just at way back 2016, but the operational launching the first cohort was 2018. So you can imagine all the years we've been really in existence, supporting entrepreneurs, supporting innovators, and we have done 6 cohorts, as I'll take you through in my next presentation, in terms of the impact we have really created. But as you asked, when you look at why and how many that we have created, as now in the support that we really have with the Japanese government through JICA and JICA ICT Innovation Project, that are really supporting us directly in terms of running everything that you can see here. I don't know whether I'm allowed to say that we should really clap for them, because it's the reason, one of the reasons why we're here. But again, when you look at the support and look at the startup company, the 6 cohort that we really supported, it's tremendous impact that we have created at the end of the day. And why we did the incubation we started as a program from the project, and then we really registered, and then we became a hub at the end of the day and in incubation level. And after supporting 1, 2, 3 cohorts, and we see there is a gap when it comes to the acceleration level, because everyone comes in the ecosystem and is looking for a startup company with the proof of concept, MVP, and all that. But the question is, after preparing them from 250 Startup, where do they go? And then we had to really, from the partners that we had really to look around, and then we started the acceleration program, which is not on high end, because we are really focusing on incubation, but also on something that we're really working on at the end of the day. But because of the gaps that are really coming up, we saw in the ecosystem.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. And I would like to move to His Excellency, the Ambassador of Israel to Rwanda. Ron, could you talk to us about what you make of the ecosystem and some of the work that you're doing at the moment?
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you. Good to be here. So I feel that Kigali is really a city with a lot of innovation and acceleration hubs, and this is very good. Even we see some publications about it, and it coincides with really the vision of the government, of His Excellency the President, to be a hub of innovation and a hub of proof of concept of Africa. So in addition to registering a business here very quickly, it's not enough. Of course, you need to do more, and I think the hubs are fulfilling this gap. As the State of Israel, we do capacity building. We are bringing the news or the vibe of Startup Nation from Israel. We just sent 25 young entrepreneurs to Israel for 10 days to grasp the innovation ecosystem of Israel.
Can we appreciate
yeah,
that? That's
thank you.
Really good
And
one.
we are planning to do more this year. In addition to that, I find it very important to invest also in leadership of youth, in building capacities and skills such as self-confidence, and because I believe that skills of any kind and knowledge of any kind are not enough for youth here. You need also to establish self-confidence, self-management, ability to speak one-on-one, abilities to speak in public. And if we build that, I believe that the rest will come, because if you know how to pitch yourself and to pitch a product, you can get to the moon. Yeah, thank you.
Very well said.
So for that, we establish a new hub of a mentorship hub, which we call Bira Shoboka, in which we are going to meet groups of 20 young people, men and women, and to mentor them, to coach them exactly on this issue of self-confidence, leadership, self-leadership, and leadership of others. Thank you.
Can we appreciate that? I believe for any young entrepreneur, I've been one myself, having that confidence is very key. It's not enough to have a good idea. I guess it plays a very key role in setting apart who actually makes it and whose idea stays sometimes in the garage. We'll now talk to a man that makes it possible for some of these ideas to make their way to the market. And, well, Amon, what I would like to hear from you is your relationship with 250 Startups, but also as an entrepreneur and also an investor, somebody that has an understanding of how the ecosystem works, but also the process of moving from ideation to actually, going to the market. What is it that you're looking for when you make that decision that this is the young person that we are investing in?
Thank you very much. I think we all got a COVID test, so I'll take off my face mask. Your Excellencies, the ambassadors, I'm very honored to be in your presence. Mr. Alex Nare of the ICT Chamber and Charles with 250 Startups. Thanks for the invitation. And I'm honored to be in the presence of the innovators. You guys are out there battling it out, writing lines and lines of code, spending sleepless nights, trying to figure out how to solve problems. I guess I'm giving away my answer ahead of time. So different funds have different focus. Our fund, Kavumu Capital LLC, we are focused on entrepreneurs that are solving big community problems. Before I was in angel investing, I was doing a lot of work in Rwanda, building schools, sending kids to school, helping women to start micro enterprises. And over time, I realized that the bigger need was actually startups that are solving community problems, and they're not doing it as a charity, they're doing it as a business. So we are a different fund that we do focus on what is the pain of the community that you're trying to solve with a business solution. So that's where we start as a fund. But generally, investors want to have a return on their investment. At the end, the money has to come back, or it better come back. 8 out of 10 startups are going to fail, but the 2 that make it, they better bring back the other 8 that failed. So 3 things that we look for, and we're actually having that conversation the other day. Number 1 is the team, number 2 is the team, and number 3 is the team. Yeah, who are the people that are behind this startup? Who are the people that are behind this solution? Can I trust them? Do they know what they're doing? If they don't, can they learn? Do they have a learning spirit? So the team behind the product is very, very important, because once you invest in the company, it's like a marriage. You are going to be hanging out with these people every day, you know, talking through problems after problems. So that's number one. The team has to be, you know, the right team. The second thing is, how big is the problem, the solution? Are you solving a problem that is, you know, just for a small little community somewhere? Well, we can do that with charity. We can raise some charitable money and solve that small community problem. But if the problem you're solving is global, is grand, it's on a national level, then we are going to be interested. So number one is the team. Number two is, how big is the problem? You know. Then the last one is, what is the solution? Is the solution that you're developing meeting the problem? Tomorrow I will write a check for one of the alumni of 250 Startups. Very excited about them.
And we appreciate that.
I won't tell you who it is, because you will go and ask them for the money. But they are solving a problem that is really big. They are trying to make sure that every corner store has some sort of accounting and financial management, and doing it remotely, doing it, you know, using all kinds of fun technology that I won't go into. But I guess those are the three things we look for. But for me in particular, I'm looking for solutions that are going to provide answers to real big problems that Rwanda and Africa is facing.
Well said. Solutions that are solving problems. Here in Rwanda, a team that you emphasized almost 3 times. So I hope young people are taking some notes today. And of course, the other thing is, you need to bring back the money. I want to talk to somebody that has been in the hot seat to prove that she is the person that is worth investing in. She has the right team, she can bring back the money, and she is solving a problem. Tandiwe, could you just talk to us a little bit about who you are? You are a beneficiary. How did you learn about 250? And what was your induction like? Your first experience meeting these people who are, might even be intimidating, but talking all these big things that you suddenly have to learn and also prove yourself. How was that like for you?
Thank you so much, Isabella, and thank you so much, Your Excellency, Ambassador of Israel. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Ambassador of Japan, and also the organizers to invite me. And it is a great honor for me to be invited and to be among this, you know, young high profile, and to be giving a testimony to my fellow entrepreneurs here in the room. So Tadim Uwizeye, I'm the founder of Olado Business Group. It is an e-commerce platform that operates here in Rwanda since 2017. Our aim is to change the Rwandan behavior of shopping by offering them an easier way to do their business, where we connect buyers and sellers through our platform, and offering all 4 e-commerce services that can help them to accomplish their business. So like, come back to your questions, like, how do I get to know about this program, and what is my ambition to be part of it? And as I was saying, I'm the alumni of 250 Startup from the 2nd cohort. So as someone who were doing business that are digital oriented, so I had to be part of ICT Chamber. And that's when we get to know about 250 Startup program, and then we had to apply. But before that, we started a business in 2017, and in the end of 2017, and we knew that from the experience we have and the market research we have done and everything, that was enough for us to establish a business here in the country and start operations. But that wasn't the case. We realized that's when we joined 250 Startup, that's when we realized that we really need a program like this to push us ahead and mostly emphasize on the basic need we need to establish a business and make it to the market. That was our ambition to join 250 Startup. We really wanted to understand well how you can lead a business with a small capital, as we all start with a small capital, and put it on the market, and get all that connection with investors, with partners, with all this that we need to build a company and make it sustainable.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing your story. I want to still stick with you for a moment. Going through this process, how do you think it shaped you, not just as a business, but as an entrepreneur?
Starting off, as in right now, like I couldn't be able to stand before like a huge audience and be speaking up. So this is the first one, like knowing how to introduce your company and tackling at the right moment, like to know how to talk to people, how to talk to partners, how to talk to investors, how to introduce your company and telling people what problem are you solving. That was the one. And two, they connected us, even among us entrepreneurs, where we share our stories, where we share our testimonies, like we learn from each other. This is a very good opportunity for us to share and help each other to know how we can do to learn our business. And thirdly, they also give us opportunity to work with different expertise where they help us to reshape our business, to understand well, because even though you might be you might have experience in IT, but you don't know about finance, you don't know about how to be a leader in the company, you don't know how to recruit a team, as the investor talked about the team. So all those things, we got it from 250 Startup, and it helps me to be having now a team of around 10 people that are working on a daily basis, and they know how to know their target, and now I know how to track their target and know that we are now meeting our goals. Thank you so much.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in the next 5 years and hear where you are at in your progress. As we wrap up the panel today, unfortunately, we have very little time. I want to give an opportunity to only one person with that burning question for our Q&A, and you feel, I cannot leave this room without asking it. So as you prepare to ask your question and make your way to the front, if that's for you, I want to come to you, Shekhar. What sets you apart? We have Caleb, we've had what it's given birth to as a sister company. We've had loads of other incubators, accelerators, we have innovation centers, and I think I recently made a statement and I said they are mushrooming all over the place. That's a good thing. But what is it that you feel you are doing as 250 Startups that these young people might not be able to get anywhere else?
Thank you so much. It's a great question, and I'll answer that with the support that we have from JICA, of course, with the project JICA ICT Innovation Project. We're able to do the following that actually makes us unique at the end of the day as an incubation. One is, apart from giving the founders access in terms of transport, access to the venue, because we know that these are young innovators. These are our brothers and sisters that we know are coming from all the corners of the country, and they don't have really that access to the incubation program where it's really happening. So we give them a transport, which is really amazing, because you might have a good program, but again, someone can't really come to the center where it is. That's one. Two, is the lunch. We believe that you can't innovate on a hungry stomach.
That is very true.
And
good things happen when you're satisfied.
And drink. The ambassador, His Excellency the Ambassador, is telling me that you need to have a drink,
Yes.
And people in the room, if you want to, you interact with them, we give them lunch, but on top of that, of course, we give them the drink. And that is because we don't want them to get gas, taking them Fanta on daily basis. Oh, I mean, we mix in up with water and mix in with some juice around. But the key point really is not, you cannot really innovate on a hungry stomach. we keep referring to Mark Zuckerberg, we keep referring to these big startup companies that are happening all over the world. But these guys are living good life. I mean, the life they're living is not the life we're living here, you know, in terms of all those basic needs and at the end of the day. But that's one. Two is seed fund that we really give them to this startup company. Someone told me, you're talking of 1 million, it's little money. But again, this 1 million, actually the money we spend in the startup company is 8 to 10 million Rwandan francs, to be specific.
That's
each
for
company
each company
in the 6 months. But on top of that, we give 1 million Rwandan francs seed fund. And this is separate because it's more like when you have a company, you have these daily operation costs. Okay, and this 1 million is to be accessed by the startup company to go to the market. Let's say you're coming up with this bottle of water and you're missing this top of the bottle, and then we're able to read it to make sure that you have it, and then you have a real prototype that you're going to talk, when you're trying to talk to the investor, you have something complete. But the most what makes it unique, because in the community, people win different amount of money around. You know, we know all this in different hackathons. But the different with us, we keep this money. So you procure through us. And the logic there is to make sure that we don't give you money and then go buy a car. No, it can't buy a car. I was joking. But you know what I mean. You know, you can use that money in the other way around. But what I'm saying is we make sure that you use that money efficiently and effectively together, because we believe that we're investing in the company. Again, we are not looking for any equity at the end of the shares in the company, but we're doing it because we have the support from JICA. And, you know, we thank JICA and the ambassador, the JICA office, because the support they're really giving to this ecosystem, and that's what actually makes us unique, plus more others. Then a last one is we have been having different trips to Japan and other countries because access to market. We know all the country that we are living in and how the number in terms of the population, you know. And when trying to build a unicorn company, you understand the market we are in. So we need to tap into different markets. So access to markets in different countries is something that we have been really supporting through their support. And that's one also makes us unique. And when you talk to Tadem, she was to Japan way back, and she has a great experience at the end of the day. All those, you can't find it anywhere, and makes us unique, plus more others. Thank you.
So what we're going to do, thank you so much, and thank you for the good work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
But in the interest of time, since we cannot get somebody up, did we get anyone willing to ask a question? We're all satisfied with what they said today? Wow, they must be incredible. We should appreciate that, right? Yeah, no questions. Everything has been handled. All right, so I want to give 1 minute to each of our panelists to give us your take home. What's the one message that you feel like you would want the people in this room to go home with? It can be directed to an investor. It can be directed to a young person that is starting out and hopes to, you know, get into maybe 250 startups or another incubator. It could also be to the leadership. Yes. Let's start with you, Honorable Ambassador.
Thank you. What I really like to see is people taking risk, and don't be afraid to fail, because failure is essential part of success. So that's my message. Thank you.
Don't be afraid to fail. And as the saying goes, well, when you're an entrepreneur, risk is part of the job. So don't be afraid. Let's get the investor's message.
I don't know if he stole mine or I'm stealing his, but I want to say the same message, that every failure is a lesson. Don't let your failure be your teacher for the next thing, and don't be afraid to pivot. You know, you start working on something and you realize that you really didn't understand the market. Don't be afraid to scrap the code and start a new lines of code, and then, you know, pivot into something that is going to help. So every failure is a lesson, and don't be afraid to pivot.
Very well said.
Amon, since you really said what I wanted, I just want to add that in Israel we have every year about 1,100 new startups. About 700 of them fail every year, but then the rest get to even to exit and get billions of dollars. So really, failing once and twice and 3 times is a very big advantage. That is really our message. Thank you.
It's an advantage to fail. There's a lesson always in every bump. Yes. Bring it home for us. What do you want our dear people in the room to remember today?
What I can tell to my fellow entrepreneurs here in the room, know that our businesses are our babies. So we are the ones to take care of them, to make sure that we are fighting for their growth. So they are ours, so we have to take care of them and fight for them.
Nurture the idea, take care of it, fight for it. The team is important. You need to be willing to bring back the money they invest in you. Don't be afraid to fail. Really great words coming from our panelists today. I want to invite you to appreciate them. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, your truth, your experience. And now I'd like to invite you to take your seats. Thank you once again. Let's appreciate them one more time. We can do better than that. I'd like to once again thank you so much for taking the time to be here tonight, the investors, the leadership. He is the life of every room. He can speak business, he can speak entertainment, he can speak comedy.
Wow.
I'm wondering how else to introduce him. And he's a newlywed. You know, they say that when you get married, it adds a few ingredients to every little thing that you do. My friend, Athang Hosi.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to Isobel. She did such an amazing job. How are you? A hand clap to yourself because you look amazing. Yeah, the louder it is. All right, can you hear me? Good. My name is Arthur, and I'm going to be taking on this moment. Now, before I start, I was told to give you one message. The fact that you are here, you have a future. Yeah. The reason why I'm saying that, the fact that you have a network and connections to be in this room, you have a future. Trust me on that. And I'm saying that because most of you are going to be pitching your ideas. But let me be honest with you. We all have different paths that we take. You never know. Your path was to come here and meet your next investor. And that's it. And you might meet them by outside, by the way. I'm being honest with you. And before we start, I want you to think about that. So don't be so hard on yourself. You won by being here. That's it. That's all I want to say. Now the rest, let it be freestyle, all right? If you agree, say yeah. Okay, I feel it. I feel you. I feel you. Now, before we continue, I know most of you know why we are here, but allow me to welcome the man himself that is going to be giving us an introduction
couldn't really do this model each end of the cohort. And today we combined 2 cohorts at a go. And then probably next month we'll be calling you for the 6th cohort. Also, we're celebrating other other cohorts that we have. And when you look at today, I really want to congratulate the innovators that we have in the room. And I would request you kindly to join me as we congratulate these people from the journey they have really walked with us, of course, supporting them until today, please. Thank you so much. As we, Yeah, and the reason as to why is that when we set goals of creating jobs in the country, as private sectors, we're coming from the ICT Chamber Rwanda because this is where the initiative is coming from, but also the support from the government of Rwanda in partnership with the Japanese government. It's something that we really need to appreciate, guys, because whatever you're looking at here, it was supported for. Someone had to pay something in order to see whatever we are looking at here. So it's something that I would request you again to clap for the government of Rwanda and the government of Japan through their partnership for the support. Today in the room, we are celebrating 18 companies. And these 18 companies, they're supposed to be 20, but as His Excellency the Ambassador of Israel mentioned and the investor, when it comes to, failure, it's something we also celebrate in one way or the other because it requires energy. It requires that stomach, okay, you need to have something to start something and fail. Not everyone can fail. You agree with me, right? So someone to fail has done something. So those 2 companies, they actually did not fail, but they had some challenges and they didn't really manage to make it today. But the 18 companies that we have, of course, we celebrate you guys, ladies and gentlemen, that we really have in the room. You made it today to finish the 6th cohort. It has been not easy due to COVID-19 working online. But again, we celebrate you today. And we know that some of you already have more clients that are really, you're making money. It's something that, we appreciate your effort towards this. Now, I'll request my technical team, if you can put me the slide of the impact, and we can look at the 1st cohort to the 4th cohort. What have we done since 2019, and what impact that we have actually created in terms of how many jobs that we have created, how many startup companies that are really working as we speak now, and as they're trying to put in really the slide, I would again thank the project, which is spearheaded by Mr. Yamanaksan, the ICT Innovation Ecosystem Strengthening Project, for the great work that they are doing. But before, maybe as they are trying to put the slide, I have my colleague that I work with, and I know Kalisa is really on a technical team, he'll come later, but I want to introduce you to the amazing team that is behind what we are seeing today. We are not so many, but this sleepless night with the team, and Shinobu-san, Emma, and the rest, please come forward. People want to know, who are you? I don't want to take this credit alone. This man, Arthur put a lot of, but there's a team behind this, I can't do this alone, honestly. I have our friend Shinobu-san, who is always here, and Japan, as we're speaking today, she's heading to Japan. She's always in Rwanda 2 weeks, she goes back. We talk on a daily basis, even after midnight at her time, we are talking. So please, a very big hand clap for this team. So guys, thank you so much. I know you've had sleepless night to organize this event to see the way it is today. It's because of these guys, not me only, guys, okay? So thank you so much, guys. There's Kalisa, is on the technical team trying to put in something, he's still working, And we have amazing volunteers, they can wave to us, others outside that are actually accepted to really support us in one way or the other. Do we have some in the room? Yes? So at the back there, they are waving for you. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for the support towards this. Now I can see I have my slides. If you can go on the next slide, that would be good. again, today, we are trying to make that the startup company we have supported, they're really network with you guys. If you're really representing an institution, because we invited the universities in the room, we invited the banks in the room, we invited different government institutions in the room, and we will have an ambassadorial platform that we really have there. Our work as innovators really network with everyone in the room because it's very much important. So when you look at our screen, you'll be able to see the impact that we actually have from the first cohort to the third cohort. This is coming from the treasury reports that we normally do every after end of the year. And this is from the first cohort to the second cohort, which is 3 cohorts. And when you look at the 70%, these are startup companies that we supported, and they're still in operational. They did not close the door, you know, and they employed more than 5 to 10 workers within the company. And when you look at the 30% of those from the first and the second, they have failed, and we appreciate this. And actually, we are initiating whereby these people that start their companies, and if you know one, please let us know, because we want them to come and share with us, you know, all the journey they went through, and probably we learn why they failed. Those men who are brave enough will be able to share with us. Then we have capacity building, as you know, 250 startups, not only supporting the young innovators, but also give capacity building to these fresh graduates from different universities. And what we do here is match them with the startup companies and make sure that they support them. If they're finance people, they really help them in terms of the business plan. And their lawyers really will look at the legal documents of the startup companies. And I'll tell you what, in first cohort, if not the second cohort, one of the company came on our platform when they registered as a church, you know, non-profit organization, yet they are profit-making company. So this is what, in 75% of these people that we have given internship, they're actually employed in different big organizations. As some of them, we are going to see them in the testimonial video that is going to be as when you look at another amazing stuff that we have achieved is some of the fresh graduates we put in the platform, and then at the end of the platform, at the end of the program, they really create their own job. You know, they come to support young innovators, but at the end of the day, they create their own job. And one of the lady that created the company actually failed and now started another company. It's amazing, the journey, because it's not all about supporting other people, but again, you can create your own job. And 12% of these fresh graduates that we really give the internship, they have started their own consulting companies. Others have started their companies that are really running. Another challenge we had is the women involvement in the program. But the past few cohorts that we have been really running, we have seen an increase in having more girls involved in the program. But again, I'll request everyone in the room, please be our ambassador. We need more girls to apply into this program, because it's not meant for only boys or men in the room, but we need more girls really to take the step and start companies. We're here to support them. Okay, thank you so much. But when you come at our center, when you look at the internship, basically we give it more opportunity for girls than boys. The reason we have more founders in the room, so we need to really balance the two. So thank you. Can I have the last slide? But before maybe I continue with the achievement concerning the patterns that we have already achieved so far ever since we started, allow me to thank the experts that we've been working with in terms of consultancy service that have been doing with us, because behind this intern that we really give the internship, we hire a local expert to support them, because we want them to pass the knowledge, the skills through these interns. And we have Alphabet. I see Mr. Gabe in the room. You can wave to the people in the room. Please appreciate him more. Has been with us and has been supporting our startup companies. I've seen Joseph, one of our alumni, but he also managed to support us, our IT interns. They can't see you if you can really, you know. And I've seen the representative of Bitelex from Raymond. Do I have someone in the team? Yes, we have. And actually, that young man who has waved to you, he was in the program as an intern. And then after the company hired him, I think he deserves more claps because there were many. And, you know, he was hired by the consulting firm. So thank you so much for really the support we are giving to these young innovators. Back to the slides, we have partners, and today we're really looking for partners in different categories. But before I really mention that, let me take you through some that we really have the partners that have been helping us. Of course, as I mentioned, between the government of Rwanda and Japan, supporting under the project ICT Innovation Ecosystem Strengthening Project. We have other partners that we have really achieved, and that is Rwanda Polytechnic. And as we speak now, we have the Vice Chancellor, Mr. James, Dr. James in the room, Gashumba. And we have really a strategic partnership. We want to find students where they are, not finding us where we are, because we have seen it's not working, the time we've been waiting for them. And the University of Rwanda, I don't know whether we have the representative from the University of Rwanda, but they've been really our pipeline, major pipeline partners, but not forgetting other universities. And we have seen more for the last two cohorts from AUCA. We have seen more students, more innovators. I want to appreciate AUCA because now they're joining other universities, of course with other universities. And when you look at one of the companies we supported, Raisin, also we did the partnership with them because they're in fintech and they're helping startup companies in terms of API connecting, facilitating in terms of the online payments, and we have done the partnership in terms of giving us the discount, not because we supported them, because really they reached out to us because we have more young fintech companies that we really support. Westerville Startup House, it's our next stage. So after there's 250 startups, they really go to Westerville in their program. Plus others, Jenga Ventures, which is one of the investors company we really have. So one of the last thing that I'm going to talk about on that slide, and the slides will go away, and then I come to conclusion of my opening remarks, is we have started the consultancy services. And I want to pause a bit. I mentioned why we started this, because we've been running this program as a program, and we realized that sustainability is the key issue now, because we have done 6 cohorts. It's no longer news to run a cohort to us because we have done it, but we need to come up and realize how we are going to really sustain 250 startups, so that next year, but when you come and find us in existence. And in that way, we are calling upon different partners. We have invited banks because we are looking for banks to come on board and see how we can do a financial illiteracy. I mean, in university students that we really have, because we have seen the gap. The telecom companies, we need to really work with you and see how we can support different innovators. But recently we had 2 consulting services that we did with different organizations, and this is UN and ITC, which is, they helped us to run the accelerator program with them under their program they really came up with. And currently we are trying to do with BitMe, which is a German ICT chamber of German, if I can put it that way. And you're running a tech upskill with KLab as a consortium of KLab and FabLab. We are by 250, we are the lead partner in that. And we appreciate the partnership with those institutions that I mentioned. I've seen the general manager of KLab in the audience. Thank you so much for coming. But the point here is we do this consultancy based on the services we've been offering to startup company. So if you're coming up with a program based on our experience, we'll be happy really to support you in one way or the other. If it's strategic partnership, we are happy to really partner with you. But again, if there is support in one or the other, we also welcome you all. So as I end my remarks, I would like to thank everyone that really managed to be with us this evening. We don't take your time for granted. We know it's a Monday. It wasn't really easy to put this day on Monday because it's a working day. But due to different factors, we really appreciate your time, and join me to thank everyone that joined us today to this demo day. And join me. Thank you so much. Yes, as Arthur mentioned, we need to network. That's the key point that we really hear, because someone seated next to you is your customer. I'm talking to innovators. Okay, please network with them, take their business card, and follow up. And where need be, involve us directly. We'll be happy to really help you. So thank you so much for listening to me. And let's join our hands supporting innovators in Rwanda. That's the way we are going to create more jobs, we believe, in our country. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles. And thank you for noting on that. The person seated next to you is your next customer. That's interesting. We are about to get ideas pitched here. Let me tell you, as somebody who has gone through the agenda, I've seen most of them. These guys are smart. You better get ready to partner with them. Yeah? Talking about partnership, let me take this time and thank the Ministry of ICT and Innovation. And thank you very much for coming in, Honorable Minister. Let's thank our partners, JICA, for sponsoring this event. Let's also thank the ICT Chamber that has been there from day one. And as I'm thanking them, ladies and gentlemen, I know we are warming up to the pitching. Some of you are seated, when is the pitching starting? I want to see the new ideas. Before we head there, allow me to welcome one of our partners, Mr. Alex Nare. He's here to give us some good welcome remarks, also a partner of this good initiative. Thank you very much, and you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Arthur. I'll also remove my mask. And thank you everyone who's made it on a Monday afternoon to this event. Honorable Minister of ICT and Innovation, Honorable Paula Ingabire, Your Excellencies, Ambassador of Japan in Rwanda, Ambassador Imai Masahiro, Ambassador of Israel in Rwanda, my friend Ambassador Ron Adam, and Chief Representative of JICA in Rwanda, Mr. Maroshin. Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs, investors, distinguished guests, our partners really who help us to make this happen. I want to thank you. I don't know, the easiest thing to say is from the bottom of my heart, sitting here today, looking at what is happening is heartwarming, it's a dream. 10 years ago, around this time in 2011, I remember we were having a conversation with a few entrepreneurs, students from the University of Rwanda, KIST at that time, on the 4th floor of Telecom House, together with my good friend, Mr. Yamanaka Atsushi. And we were talking about entrepreneurship with the colleagues from RDB, from CMU, and thinking through how do we build a private sector. At that point, we were still in the NICI plans, or the National Information and Communication Infrastructure Project, or plans, and we're looking at, okay, how is the private sector in Rwanda going to be developed? And we had crazy people, crazy young people, and they had all dreams to really build great stuff from Rwanda. And one thing leads to another, and today we are here. We are here not because we've arrived. We are here because those baby steps have led us, have brought us this far. And those baby steps, you will allow me if I sound biased in some of my speech, but really it's because of believers. The people that believe in young people, the people, government officials that took a bet when we wrote to them and said, we want a space every afternoon or every other Tuesday to have a meeting with entrepreneurs and talk about innovation. And then other people, JICA specifically here, and RDBIT. I remember Honorable Minister was working there at that time. When we came and we said, you have the 6th floor of Telecom House empty. Can we have it? And JICA was like, yes, we will support you to renovate it and make it a space. And honestly, that's what has led to today. It's partnerships. It's the strength of partners, of coming together and putting a brick on the other and making sure that we're actually building our economy and making sure that we're empowering young people, as Charles has indicated and shown us. So I'll touch a little bit on why we do what we do. Yeah, we've had His Excellency President talking about kwijira. He's told us and taught us about dignity, agaciro, and taught us other values and the things that we as Rwandans are, to think big, to be accountable, and to stick together. And when you look through those, sorry if I sound political, but it is what it is. Okay, you won't build a startup, you want to build a business if you're not willing to think big, if you're not willing to be accountable to colleagues, accountable to your team, accountable to investors. And for us, this event today is accountability to you, our partners, to the government of Rwanda, but also to you entrepreneurs. Okay, what do we use resources or partnerships, the access we are given for? Okay, what do we use it really? It is in order to bring, to share with you what young people are doing in Rwanda. And with that, just want to throw in some numbers. I had some concerns alluded to earlier in the sense that hubs are mushrooming or entrepreneur programs are mushrooming. Yeah, but let me first put things in context. We have a population of 12 million. 60% of that is said to be young people that are below 35 or 40 years old. Majority of that are below 25 years. Some of them are in school. We have close to 3 million that are still in school. In 10 years' time, these are going to be on the labor market. So what are they going to, what are those 2 million young people who are being educated going to be doing? If we do not create opportunities for them to come to, if we do not create businesses for them to come to work in. And as the ICT sector, our target is 100,000 jobs by 2024, NST1 and the SSP, okay? As the ICT chamber, as well as part of the government targets, is our ambition is to really contribute 100 technology companies that are each valued at more than $50 million. And what does that speak to? It speaks to job creation. It speaks to employment. Charles shared a little bit on our model here, on the 250 Startups model, where we bring in young people from business school, from law school, from tech, and match them with startups. And that we've seen already having a ripple effect, or a multiplier effect, in the sense that 75% of those are now employed, okay? A majority of whom would have taken a little bit longer. Some of them are employed while they are still even in the program, okay? So we believe that tech-enabled jobs, not just a belief, it's a fact now, that jobs of the future are tech-enabled, and you need to have digital literacy beyond everything else. So this is why we need to expand this kind of programs, so that the talent that we have across the country is not left out because they cannot afford to come to Kigali, okay? Because they cannot afford, as Charles said, they cannot afford lunch. Okay, they cannot afford transport. We've seen these are realities we've lived in, yeah. And at times when we speak of them, and then as Charles was saying, that someone brings a comparison with another country, yeah, it doesn't add up for us, because we know I can count several, mention names, yeah, of businesses that shut down because of those kind of missing pieces. So to increase digitization, whether it's for MSMEs, SMEs, or increase cashlessness, we need to build businesses. And entrepreneurs create opportunities. That's really our belief. That's what we believe. And we hope that our partnership with you, the entrepreneurs, with the investors and with the different stakeholders, different governments, really will help our sector to grow, but even much more to contribute to our national ambitions, which are to have an economically independent country. So with that, I really want to thank you. I want to appreciate and just ask everyone, just put your hands together for yourself, for the person next to you, the fact that we're going to work together and make sure that we bring this. So that's it. Those are my opening remarks. You're welcome here. We're going to hear from startups. We're going to hear from what they're going to share with us what they've done, testimonies, but also the future, a glimpse of the future. And now I hand back to Arthur. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alex, and a round of applause one more time for such amazing words that you've said that goes both to the partners and the entrepreneurs that are here. When I'm standing here, all I see are visions that are about to be true. And the reason why I'm saying that, Mr. Alex mentioned something. They went to JICA and they said, your 6th floor is empty. We can bring life to it. And they said, yes, who believes in something that is not yet there? Yeah, Charles understands it, and that's why, because I'll be honest with you, you'll meet it once you go to partners. When you sell an idea, it's different when you sell a product. You see, a product is tangible, you can feel it, you can touch it. An idea is imaginary. You need to meet an imaginary person, a visionary like you, to understand it. And ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome the partner that believed in that dream, Mr. Maruo Shen. Please, would love to hear a lot from you. How did the dream come true? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. MC. This is the exercise in this room to remove the mask, so I follow that exercise. The Honorable Minister of ICT and Innovation, Madam Paula Ingabire. The Excellency, the Ambassador of Japan to Rwanda, Mr. Masahiro Imai. Your Excellency, Ambassador of Israel to Rwanda, Dr. Ron Adam. The CEO of ICT Chamber, Mr. Alex Ntale. The General Manager, 250 Startups, Charles Shaka. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Muiriwe Neza. My name is Shin Maro, the Chief Representative of JICA Rwanda. I'm very pleased to attend this, the 4th demo day of 250 startups. Actually, by attending this, the 4th demo day in this KCC, that remind me the last similar gathering, which was taking place at about 2 years ago, which also taken place in the KCC. And I'm very pleased to attending this event after the 2 years, the absence. The JICA's activities in Rwanda also affected by COVID-19, but thanks to the effort by the government of Rwanda, including the vaccination campaign, that make us possible to gather in this the gathering for celebrating the graduation of the 250 startups, the 4th cohort and the 5th cohort. JICA contributing for the 250 startups since the year 2018, as Shaka explained in the beginning session, through the ICT Innovation Ecosystem Strengthen Project. And we provided support so far, 5 cohorts, and this was already explained by Shaka. and 50 graduate so far. And this number also, the figure also, the shared by Shaka, that 70% of the incubated are successful. Even though in the panel discussion there was a message from the Your Excellency Ambassador that failure also, that somehow we can learn. But on the other hand, this 70%, this is a very good number. They're successfully continuing their business. This is thanks to the effort by the Japanese expert and ICT Chamber and Mini ICT and RISA. I appreciate your effort to make it happen. And not only that startups, this also already mentioned, but Shaka, the lawyers and accountant, the work together, the entrepreneurs, that making their own money through their business or own business or the employed by the companies. That's also the commendable things. Apps program. I'm very looking forward to hear from the young innovators. And as far as JICA's intervention for the ICT sector is concerned, this ongoing project, ICT Ecosystem Strengthening Project, is coming to the end the early next year, the February next year. So it means we are in the final stage of this project, and our cohort, our support for the startups also the coming to the end. It means that we humbly request the Rwandan counterpart, means Mini ICT, the RISA, ICT Chamber, 250 Startups, to make it your own program. You can graduate from JICA for making this 250 Startups. That is my humble request. But the end of our project in the coming February, it doesn't mean JICA's JICA's intervention for ICT project to end. We will continue engaged through the sector working group co-chairing for the ICT sector working group, and also the second phase project is coming to start in the coming May. In that coming project, we are continuously engaged for the innovation of the country through the ICT and the digital innovation. Next year will be the year for TICAD 8. There's a Tokyo International Conference on African Development, which is every 3 years. The Japanese government, together with other partners, the organizing for the African development. That will be taking place in Tunisia in the next year. And we are sure that in that TICAD 8 meeting, the digital transformation will be highlighted, and there will be the further discussion about ICT for the development of country. I'd like to express my expectation for the innovators of the younger generation to continue your business in the country for the development of country. But I'd like to request you not to limit your effort within Rwanda, but please see the wider market of the African continent. Even though this 250 startups, the zero logo is in the Rwandan territory, but my expectation is go beyond this zero, beyond this the country, to further strengthen your market in the African continent. After the agreement of the African continent, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, we should look at not only the one country, but in the continental wide. So the JICA, together with other partners, also facilitate the private companies to go beyond one country to the region and the continental wide. Lastly but not least, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to the expert team engaged for the ICT project in JICA, and the young entrepreneurs for organizing the very important meeting or the gathering. Thank you very much. Murakoze Chane.
Thank you very much. And that's the best way to end it. We should look beyond the zero. In other terms, there are more markets out there. I'm realizing that we've been saying presentations coming. I think we've teased enough, right? It's high time. It's high time we get to see the ideas. I had a quick look at them, and they are amazing ideas. If the tech team is ready, the way this is going to happen, there will be a video. So the pitch is going to be done in form of a video. And then if you feel like you have a question that you would like to ask the entrepreneur or the representative of the business or the founder, you'll get a chance to ask. But because we have quite a number of presentations, we'll be taking only one question. So you better make it count. All right? We are going to be starting with our first innovator. And this is Blue Morik. I read something on Twitter that caught my eye. They say you might be a technician looking for a job, or the job itself looking for you, but you can't get it. These guys can link you up. It's an app here that is going to be helping us, getting us jobs to the people who actually need our services. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce this video from Blue Morik. Enjoy.
Hello, I'm Moise Nchizino, founder at Blue Morik. Picture yourself rushing to attend a very important business meeting, and on the way you get an engine malfunction. It's a dilemma, right? Wireless Blue Morik got you covered by giving you access to all nearby technicians who are ready to come and fix whatever issues you are facing, and you'll be back on the road in no time. What you are trying to solve here is how hard it is to locate technician workshops and the time people waste trying to reach those destinations. We are also trying to solve an issue of low income that is generated by technicians because they are not recognized in their local communities. We will be offering you a wide range of services from carpentry, construction, electricity, electronics, mechanics, painting, plumbing, and car wash. What makes us differ from others is with us you are able to locate all nearest technicians within a very friendly interfaces with tons of security measures to help you along the way. We are targeting people with technical skills and looking for a flexible working environment, and that's 60% of the total technicians in the country. We are also looking for those people in need of technical support and looking for a cost-efficient repairing services, and that's up to plus 4 million users across the country. We will be earning money through monthly subscriptions of 6,000 a month and commission of 10% within car wash and painting services. We will also be earning money through in-app advertisement, which will be showing relevant ads to the users. So far in 250, we achieved a lot from developing our own mobile application, business plans, developing marketing strategies, and understanding of basic law. We are looking for 73 USD for 30% equity in our company, which will be distributed in different sectors from research and development, maintenance and hosting, sales and marketing, and other sectors as well. And finally, meet the team behind all the magical wonders Blue Morik has to offer, with each individual having extinguishable knowledge and expertise. Reach out to us within all these platforms. We are one click away.
We are one click away. This is a good idea. Let me be honest with you. They have everything in one place. All you have to do is subscribe, a monthly subscription. Now, if anybody here thinks that they have a question for Moise, Moise is the CEO. If you think you have a question for Moise, please feel free to raise your hand. Can I have a microphone to a gentleman over there? Oh, Moise, they got to come on. Hey, couldn't see you. Ah, yes, that's you. That was a good presentation. Okay, we have a question there. Thank you very much. Thank you. And for those of you who are getting ideas and investing, Moise is right there You reach out to him, and you can plan a meeting. The question is, hello sir, what's your name? Felix. All right. Felix has a question here.
Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Felix Rubanda. That's a good idea. I really like it, especially for the people in the field. So my question is this. So how are you going to get those technicians? So what would be the difference with the other technician you have on the market? Actually, the main problem we have on the market now is to have the skilled people with a skilled professional, to find like a carpenter. It's really hard now to find the carpenter you can really trust, who is professional, who can do things well, and also who can also meeting the deadline. So how are you going to mitigate that problem of the unprofessionalism in the technician or in the formal sector? Thank you.
Thank you, Felix. At Blumolic, we are not trying to replace the current technicians. Actually, we are trying to link them with the users, and you have a team of experts that vet technician skills so that people can see the skills those technicians claim to have. So I'd say that at Blumolic, we are trying to link them. Actually, they will be our partners because we are linking all those technicians and by adding them to our platform. Thank you.
All right, Felix, I hope you got an answer, at least an idea of the answer. You can reach out to Moise and get an idea. Maybe you are one of the technicians that wish to join the platform, so it's very okay. How many of you find it very hard to walk into a pharmacy and buy some of the health products? Let me be honest with you. There is some level of stigma around that. And it's a true story. For example, if you're looking at morning after pills, how do you walk in a supermarket and order 2? Ladies and gentlemen, she has a solution, and that is Dot Falma. Let's listen the solution she's giving us tonight.
We are one click away.
Hello, my name is Alvirini Chirezi and I'm a co-founder at Dotpharma. Dotpharma helps you to find medicine at your fingertip. In a market research we conducted in Kigali 2020, 70% of our respondents mentioned that they have a problem of finding medical product and healthcare services near them. It becomes a very big problem when a person can displace. For example, people with disabilities or chronic condition. As a result, there is problem of time wastage searching for product. We have a market size of more than 13 Rwandan residents in which we target more than 4 million of Rwandans who need healthcare services but also use internet. We are targeting to reach 80% in 5 years. We've brought you a solution. Dotpharma brought a digital platform, which is a website, and it's going to be a one-stop center of all healthcare product and information. We are going to make money from product delivery fee, where we only charge 1,000 in Kigali, and we make a profit of 40% on cost price on each sale we make. We get these products from pharmaceuticals wholesalers. We are not alone in this business. However, Dotpharma have advantage over its competitors because it helps its users to locate hospitals and clinics with healthcare services they are looking for. Since we joined 250, we have achieved different things. We have made company corporation where we are Dotpharma Limited. We have a business number and a bank account. We have a finished product, which is a website. We've signed different contracts with suppliers such as Kipharma, Mero Naturals, and Dynafarm. We've got our first 15 paying customers where we made sales equal to 350,000 in only 1 month. Meet the team behind all these. We have a CEO with 7 years experience in IT, especially working with healthcare providers and other healthcare bodies. We have our managing director with 2 years experience in communication and marketing. We have our chief operation officer with more than 4 years experience in public health, and we have some other experts in IT
Rigo and Finance. Pharma is looking for 61 Rwandan millions, where it plans to give a stake of 25%. We plan to use this money in product development and marketing and branding so that we can increase sales and impact more people. We also plan to use this money in operating expense as well as capital expense. You can connect with us on our social media platform and our website where we use .pharma.rw.
Amazing. This is an active business. They already made 350,000 cash. They only take 1,000, so you can make the mathematics and know this is something you can invest in. They already have clients, so this is not a project, it is a business. Anybody with a question here today? Ichirezi was pitching it herself. If anybody have a question, I think Ichirezi, we can see you. There she is, young, vibrant, and you can see that they know what they want, and it's a solution. If you have any question, yes, sir. If you don't mind, I'll hold you.
So I didn't understand the 40% profit of product. This thing I didn't understand. 1,000 franc and?
Actually, in the Rigo operating of pharmacies, to make profit, pharmacies doesn't have to exceed a coefficient.
This one, during COVID, something happened, a new solution came up. Teachers couldn't teach physically, so what had to happen, we had to improvise. I'm pretty much sure most of you guys know about the tutor business. My mother is one of them. She started it in the way 2000s. She used to teach children from their homes. But you see now, it's not something you can easily do. Guess what? Somebody came up with this. Let's watch it.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Giselle Biusa, the founder of Tutorhub, a website platform that connects students and tutors. Website to solve these kind of problems, lack of tutoring and after-school guidance, no offline and online tutoring, wasting of time and resources finding for tutors. Our solution is we are going to be providing online and offline tutoring, access to qualified and affordable tutors. We have the market of more than 3 million students from secondary and primary schools. Our uniqueness is qualified tutors, affordable price, and online, offline tutoring. We make money by taking 10% commission. The